Welcome back to Fighters Drinking Coffee. And today is our birthday. Happy birthday to Fighters Drinking Coffee. Also, happy birthday to Asim, by the way.
Oh,
it's his birthday tomorrow. We promised him. I promised him. I made promises to tell him happy birthday on the show. So happy birthday, Asim.
Happy birthday, Asim.
But more importantly, happy birthday to Fighters Drinking Coffee. So actually, exactly 1 year ago today, the first episode of Fighters Drinking Coffee dropped. Well, Fighters Drinking Coffee 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? We're rolling with that. It's a new beginning. It's a brand new thing. So Fighters Drinking Coffee 1 year anniversary show coming at you guys. And because it's the first year, 1 full year, I figured we'd talk about or lead off talking about all the things that last year has
learned and we can reflect on
how have we grown as people because of the podcast or whatever. So we're gonna take you guys down a little walk down memory lane. We'll talk about the last year of the podcast with us and some other fun things from some fans of the show. We got a couple of fun topics that were commented.
Yes,
commented is how we received them. So we got some cool fan topics that we're gonna hit on too. But first, the first full year of Fighters Drinking Coffee. Scott, what did you, what's name one thing? We'll go from there, but
we released an episode every single week, which was something we had talked about doing. We were like, for those of you who have been longtime listeners, and some of you are out there, we did this a while back. We did this about 7 or 8 years ago plus, and we had fun. We had a lot of fun. We were rough around the edges, as we've discussed lots of times.
We will drop some of those episodes for you guys, by the way. They will reach the light of day once again.
The archives.
Yeah.
But one of the things we wanted to do this go around was make it a little more consistent and better polished. And I think dropping an episode every week was good. I'm glad we did that. That's the first thing that comes to mind, Michael.
Yeah, I think the only week we took off was we did not release an episode the week of Christmas.
That was scheduled though.
Yeah, that was the only one we didn't do, and that was on purpose because one, we figured it would not be listened to. You guys have other things to do. We didn't want to take away your family time because I think it was like Christmas Eve.
Okay.
I think that would have been the drop date. So we moved it to the next week.
Okay.
But other than that was scheduled, that was planned. But other than that, the consistency we were on point. We kept up with it, which was really good. Especially that was something that we kind of had to, that was a promise we made to ourselves,
yes.
Right? We're going to be consistent this time around because the first time, we were kind of all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
We made it happen, but we just kind of dropped whenever we
made it happen. But like you said, it was not, we didn't really have any, we were just winging it. We weren't adhering to any sort of protocol on it. So, I was glad that we did that.
Yeah. And this time around, I actually learned how to edit episodes. I don't think we were really doing that before. We were lucky that the first few we had somebody doing it for us.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ryan for that.
Shout out to Ryan.
Yeah. Wherever he is. I don't know if he listens to this anymore. He probably, I don't know. He's flying jet planes, actually, which is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
But before that, he was editing the podcast for free for a few months. But so this time around, I learned how to actually edit the show. And, some of you guys might have heard some of the initial attempts to that. We had a little bit of, and we went back and actually remastered a bunch of them. So a lot of them, we got background noise out and kind of fixed the spacing. It's not as
remastered
loud. Yeah,
just like Star Wars.
Yeah, just like Star Wars.
Just like Star Wars, I remastered those.
And
we talked about Star Wars a lot.
We did talk a lot, and that was in the last 3 months. We were jamming on Star Wars.
We were jamming on that,
which I like.
We're not going to let it go.
No. Star Wars. I think it's got legs, dude.
This podcast, much like Star Wars, it won't go away.
It won't go away.
Yeah.
We'll keep it coming. We're
going to sell it to Disney.
Ooh, hey, if we sell to
we
Disney,
are for sale.
Yeah,
Disney, if you're listening.
Some cash would be nice from Disney.
Disney.
That Disney money, dude, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, dude. Get you some ears.
Yeah.
Those,
I'll wear Mickey Mouse ears, bro.
Yeah, dude.
I'd be a hero.
We could get you like a Boba Fett helmet.
Oh, yeah. I like
or
that.
Or a Darth Vader helmet.
Darth Vader helmet. We'll just be recording with Star Wars gear on.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. We'd have to clean up our language though if we were going to get bought by Disney.
Maybe.
So maybe they won't buy us. That's fine. I'm not worried about it. But yeah, we figured that out. We got some cool we got the editing down, which was heck, I think that was great. We really figured out sound quality compared to before. Like before we were just going for it. We had one microphone and we'd record wherever we were.
We decided mostly to speak about jiu-jitsu too.
Yeah, we
talked about all kinds of crap on the old episodes, which was awesome. Don't get me wrong. I still like that. But we've relatively focused on a lane.
Yeah, we decided to stick within our area of expertise,
right.
Which is more so jiu-jitsu. I mean, we've had guests that come on and do branch out, and we'll get to
we want to keep doing
guests,
that,
which we do like. But that's their area of expertise, not ours.
Well, it's like we had these guests come on. We'll talk about some guests in a minute, but we've had guests come on, and part of the fun of having the guests come on is letting them talk.
Yeah,
letting them. If they want to talk about something,
give them a platform.
Yeah, we give them a platform, let them run, and sometimes jiu-jitsu comes up. It does.
We try to at least
talk about that all the time.
A little bit of jiu-jitsu. That way, at least the people who are listening specifically for jiu-jitsu content get it. But sometimes people have things they want to talk about, things they know about like really well. Sometimes stuff that I don't know. I don't know if it's 100% true or not. Well, but whatever. It's not my job to judge that. I don't know. It's fun. We got some cool, fun stuff out of it.
Truth seekers. Okay, we're just gonna go into the.
We'll see whatever comes up. We're happy with it. We're happy to hear it. It's been fun. We've had some cool people from all around the area. Got to meet a lot of people. Actually, a couple of days after this comes out, we're going to be hanging out with some of the people that we've interviewed, which will be really cool. So this comes out Tuesday. That Friday. So on Friday, we'll be going down to Dallas. And we're gonna be hanging out with the ladies from Unbreakable Jiu-Jitsu.
That's right.
The Unbreakable Jiu-Jitsu camp. God, dude, my brain.
Out of Genesis.
Sorry, guys, I'm cutting weight right now. But yeah, the Carrie and Mindy from Genesis. So we're gonna go visit them for the first day while we're down there. We'll see them all weekend, I'm sure.
Right.
But so we're gonna get to, because of this, we know people kind of around.
It's cool,
which is really cool. That was one of the things the first time around that was awesome, and we're doing that again. We're kind of building this cool fighter drinking coffee network.
Mm-hmm.
And that's great because it gives us, we're able to leverage that in ways because we create these relationships with people that
we wouldn't ordinarily have.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to meet them before, or we strengthen relationships we have with people in the area, right? Like Tim, Knack,
so on and so forth. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so I think I gathered a lot from that. Kind of figured out. This helps me. The show has helped me talk through my jiu-jitsu stuff too. I don't know. When we start talking about all this stuff, when we get into the theory episodes, it's definitely helped me kind of have my light bulb moments on some stuff. Oh yeah, when I'm doing this thing, oh yeah, I actually.
Yeah, you're
connecting dots.
Yeah, you're exploring the mindset of your martial art live for the listeners to experience.
Get to have that extra layer outside of just
being on the mat,
physically doing it, which is great. Doing it physically is why we do it. That's the fun, but it's cool getting that extra depth and layer. And I don't know, it's made me, just doing the podcast, I feel has made me better at jiu-jitsu.
Oh man, I mean, look, did you all hear that? Did the listeners hear that, you guys?
And it will make you better at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, that's right.
It'll make you guys better at jiu-jitsu if you listen.
Yeah, that's right. Talking it through.
Yeah.
Yeah, thinking it through. Thinking and speaking at the same time. That's the way to go.
Yeah. I mean, so this is our version of the post-match breakdowns, right?
Kind of.
We kind of come on here and talk through what happened, and it helps us, I don't know, figure it out.
It does.
And you get to
you're a part of
from
this.
it. Yeah. You guys listening helps me. But yeah, man. So that's Do you have any other takeaways from the first year of doing this? Or?
Do you want to shout out some guests since we're talking? Since we're
Yeah,
might as well do that now. We got some questions from listeners that we'll dive into as well. Time permitting, I don't know if we'll get through all of them, but
we'll hit as many as we can.
There's some good ones. There's some really good ones on here, but
yeah, we're appreciative for all of you, and we will get them. So yeah, I mean, guess right.
I've got a couple ideas.
Do you want to do power rankings, or
maybe we do power rankings? But wait, here's the thing. One thing I also thought was cool was that
on moments.
We had a couple buddies on the show throughout the year too who have had their own podcasts, started their own podcasts, which is pretty fun to see. The guys, BJ and his buddy Alex, he started the Tap Often podcast. That's pretty cool to see. They're good on the mic. They were fun to have on. That was around the Movember fights.
Yeah, so we had them on because they were hosting the Movember fights in Lorton, Capital MMA Lorton. He now actually owns. He's a part owner now. Capital MMA.
Yeah, BJ.
And I know he listens to the show. We know that we helped inspire the podcast and you going to become a part owner. It's cool.
Are you taking credit for that?
Sure, why not?
Does he owe you money?
I don't think so. I didn't give him money.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't owe me money, but
think about it, BJ.
I'd like to. Yeah, I mean,
think about it.
I'll take money.
Michael, take your money.
I'll take some. I know he doesn't owe it to me, but
I was just having some fun.
If somebody wants to give me money, man, that's pretty cool with me.
Food for thought.
If you guys want to give me money, Mike will take the money.
Mike will take money.
I am happy to separate people from their cash should they desire to.
Willingly choose to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was a fun, I mean, they were cool. I think that was through your network of guys. You knew them before I knew them. And I enjoyed talking to those dudes. They were fun. I've listened to their show. It's cool. I highly recommend people check that out. It's also just like you said, fun to see. Like a couple dudes come on. They're running the podcast. They're doing cool stuff. They're working on interesting projects, trying to, evolve what they do in life, which is badass.
And if you if you guys are listening to this podcast, you'll like theirs. It's slightly different topically, but it's two dudes. They're friends. They work well together. They have very good they
have fun
chemistry. They're having a fun time. So if you like this show, you'll like their show. So check them out. Tap Often podcast. Everywhere. I mean, wherever you're listening to this, they're there.
They are there.
Yeah. So, yeah, dude, I like that. Especially they kind of have characters, right? Especially Alex. Alex has developed this mysteriousness around him, apparently, that I found, especially when they're on the show. I found it enjoyable. And they poke fun at each other all the time. So they're cool. And yeah, like you said, it was really cool seeing them go to another go start their thing, and their podcasting is cool. Feel like, and actually I think on the first episode he said this helped us, being on our show helped them kind of get inspired to do their own.
We've had Raph from the Grappling Hour on.
Yeah, that was really cool too. More podcast networking. Dude, talking pro wrestling.
That was awesome.
I love talking pro wrestling.
Cutting promos with Raph.
Dude, cutting promos is that was an awesome episode. Also, that's another person I hope we get out to see at some point.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. He's on the West Coast though. That's tough.
Yeah, our travel schedules haven't quite lined up either. Sometimes he would be at some.
I think he's doing the PGF right now, isn't he?
Yeah. So right now he's doing PGF. They just finished their first week.
Yep.
And it's a longer season this time because usually it's 1 week, but so they're actually doing a season. So yeah, he does commentating, and I think he does post fight stuff too for them. Because I think he has the bullpen is what he runs. He runs the bullpen around it.
Okay.
His bullpen show. So yeah, he's doing that right now. We'll be still doing that, which is really cool. So check him out too. Grappling Hours, the podcast, but you can also check out the bullpen.
Keep an eye on what he's doing with the PGF. PGF, like Mike said, is going to be going for a little bit.
Yeah, you should be able to watch that. They're on Fight Pass, right?
I'm not sure. I can look that up.
Yeah, look that up.
Look that up.
Just for I guess. Yeah, I think they're on Fight Pass. Because I think because they do the last. It might even be in Vegas right now, but I know the final is historically been like in Vegas. Maybe even at the Apex, because they do a cool thing with like the small private show thing, and it's pretty cool. Another cool one we had on. I actually really enjoyed Tim Dawson's episode.
Oh yeah.
That was cool. I mean, like, so we talked about like, we'll let them talk and let them platform whatever they want to platform. I did not expect that episode to go where
I had a hunch, man. I had a hunch that Tim's going to do what Tim does, man. Tim's going to he's like, I got stuff to say.
But man, like,
that was a good one.
That wasn't exactly what I expected. I mean, and like,
I thought it was exactly what I expected. I just said I expected something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
it was good.
It was good, man. Like, so, if you hadn't heard the episode, listen to it. But like, the passion, the man cares, right? Like, this is a guy who cares about. He was a lawyer on Capitol Hill. Like, he cares about justice, and so he was kind of riffing on his takes on
the
world and civil liberties and stuff like that. It was really cool. We got a lot of really good feedback from listeners on that episode too, which was awesome. Another one we got really good listener feedback on was Big John Christian, Psy Doctor.
Tell me some of the feedback. That one came out last week. I haven't.
I mean, so that was probably, I think that's one of our longest episodes.
Yes,
I just barely beat out. I think Tim's was close to, but that was a 2-hour long episode. It was a long one. We probably would have kept going.
It was good.
We're gonna have to do a follow up, but
sure.
Yeah, like people were super into all the training partners. All of our training partners were like, "Dude, they're like, John, you're a psychopath. You want to beat people up in front of their family."
Yeah, he rules.
Which is
that was awesome.
And he beat the dude brought his wife and kids to Masters Worlds, and John beat him up.
Cost of doing business.
But yeah, I mean, like all that sports psych stuff, right? Like all that performance psychology, finding the trigger, finding like. I loved it. That was like because that's like the deep dive missing piece that a lot of people have in competition, and a lot of guys are like, dude, like I didn't even think about like those moments, like those things, like competition anxiety is a lot of people's biggest hurdle. Yeah. And one way to do it is just keep doing it. Yes, but some people never really find, like they keep doing, and it just they can't get a handle on it because it's not going to go away, right? And like even John, he's competed for
years,
almost 30, 30. Yeah, like he's been competing his whole life basically. And even he said like he doesn't have zero anxiety. He just knows how to handle and control it. And I guess if you never find the system, you won't figure that out. And so, he had a lot of cool insight into what he does or like ideas and stuff like that. We're going to have him back and like do a much deeper dive into it. But he gave us a lot of cool information.
He did.
From like a scientific, right? Like a actual like clinical standpoint of handling that stuff. Cause we can tell you what we do, but there's no real science behind it, or there wasn't. Now there might be, because now we have someone to work with on it. But it was just kind of how we do it, and it wasn't really scientific. And now there's kind of I don't know. I have a jumping off point for it now. So.
Yeah. We have an expert. Were there people who gave us like specific feedback?
I just got lots of positive feedback.
Oh, okay.
Just people really enjoyed the topics and all of that. And so there's just a lot of. I didn't have any like notes. It was just a lot of like, man, that was like really, really informational. People really enjoyed that, like that content, that episode.
I loved doing that episode, man. It was fun.
And honestly, like if that longer format, if people like that we might start having slightly longer episodes. Who knows?
He's our Dr. Drew.
Yeah, maybe we'll just have to start having a
Dr. John,
because we could do a segment. He doesn't necessarily have to be on, but we can get.
He's very segmentable.
We have unlimited yeah, I can if we do listener questions, I can get information from him. even if he isn't physically here, we can get a Ask Dr. John, Dear John. We'll have a Dear John
like
segment. So maybe we'll have to do that. Well, maybe we'll start. You guys start sending us your questions for Big John, and once we collect some, I'll start getting some Dear John answers.
We'll get some.
I'll have him write his response, and we'll read it off. It'll be Dear John.
I think the cool thing about this is that all the people we've talked to, and there's a lot of other folks that we had on that we may not be able to shout out today, but
it would take us a while.
But the cool thing about like even what you just said there and some of the other guys we were describing was that having these guys on has kind of given us like some ideas / opportunities to explore other lanes, other channels on this podcast. And that one, obviously the John episode makes a ton of sense given what we talked about earlier, insofar as we have focused a bit more in the last year around staying in our lane on jiu-jitsu. Not that we won't branch out into other stuff, but with that said, obviously for ourselves, for guys like John, and honestly a ton of our guests, like a lot of our guests that we've had on are either actively competing or have competed a bunch of times in the past, but to have that angle, I think most of it's rooted in how relevant it is for the two of us, since this is our show. But a lot of people listening to are newer competitors or, have perhaps been competing in some capacity in a combat sport for a little while. Like I think that subject matter resonates a lot. So that's why that episode was so cool. I mean, I've listened to it myself. I'll re-listen to it, but what I'm trying to get at here is that, John, whoever, like all these folks we've talked to, like we've got different ideas and different things. We're learning more because I think we're a little more intentional about this whole podcast experience.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And we're trying to, if you've noticed the first few months of this year too, like we even tried to get even more focused, right? Like we're becoming even more intentional with like, we're curating our episodes in a specific way. Like, we're trying to make everything flow together so far this year, which has been pretty cool. Like we've had like a pretty cool chain of thought with.
Hey, here's a speaking of change of thought. Are you looking at do you have the globe up by any chance?
I did.
Dude,
so that was what
let's shout out some countries.
So
this is
over the last year.
What I'm describing, Mike is looking at the global reach. And maybe we can do some states too, but whatever.
I'll break down the states. That'll be next.
We can see where our listeners are coming from around the globe.
We are international.
Oh yeah.
We have the United States.
Number one.
That is our number one. Followed
USA.
by the United Kingdom. They love us.
In the UK?
Oh, do they love
like
us?
That.
That's our number 2. Followed by Germany and Canada.
Okay.
India, Spain, Australia, Hong Kong, Singapore, France, Austria, Japan, Ireland, Brazil, Lithuania, Denmark, Argentina, Norway, Pakistan, Croatia, Mexico, Nicaragua. Dude, we're everywhere. Netherlands, Philippines, Russia, Sweden, Belgium, Cyprus, Estonia, Italy, Kenya. I think we've touched every continent.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to look at the map, but I think so.
I mean, we have touched every continent. We are global. Oh, Nepal,
dude.
Poland, Romania, Thailand, South Africa, Azerbaijan, Colombia, Egypt, Finland, Ghana, Greece, Indonesia, Isle of Man.
Isle of Man.
Yeah,
we made it. We made it to the Isle of Man.
We have one person in the Isle of Man listening.
I love that.
Iraq, Morocco, Malaysia, Portugal, Slovenia, and then there's 2 people who have no geographic locations.
What does that mean? It's like the unregistered countries.
They might, they're
North
just
Korea?
using maybe we're
in the failed. Yeah, dude.
VPNs.
Cool, man. We're crossed, dude. I'm into that. Maybe we're gonna solve some global crises.
But yeah, dude. So I mean, we've touched every continent over the past year.
Cool.
And then I mean, we only have a few states missing. We're in all but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 states.
Okay.
So we're
80% of the way through the United States.
We've almost got every state. So if you know anyone in Idaho,
yeah, holler at us.
Get them listening because they're
What are the top 5 states? What do we got?
Our top 5 states are Virginia, Maryland, DC, California, and New York.
All right.
Closely followed by New Jersey.
Okay.
We have the South and the Eastern Seaboard pretty well. Colorado is in there too.
Okay.
But we have a nice little band around.
We're taking over the East Coast.
Yeah, the East Coast we're doing well on the East Coast.
Florida.
We
got Florida.
We
got people in Florida.
California and Colorado are the only ones in like the top 10 that aren't East Coast.
Okay.
So pretty good. Kentucky's a little behind, but that's okay. You need to get on your list. It's okay. They're beating my state of Louisiana though. So
okay.
You know, pick it up, Louisiana.
God damn it. Get up, Kentucky.
We need to. We're missing like the. I don't even know what is.
Let me see. I'm good at the country, dude.
What portion of the country is that? Well, what do you refer to as the like Rocky Mountains area?
Oh yeah, those guys. I mean, they're out, dude.
The North
They're doing
Rockies.
Yellowstone shit. Dude.
Yeah, so
we got Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana are just fucking around. Looks like South Dakota, Iowa. No, sorry, Nebraska. No, I'm sorry, Kansas.
Yeah, so like
who needs them? Just kidding. New Mexico, because we got Arizona. We're missing Arkansas and Alabama. Yeah, and maybe Alaska.
It's okay. We don't need Alabama.
What about Alaska? No,
we're missing Alaska.
No, we'll take Alabama.
We need the North Rockies.
We do.
Northern Rockies, and then
we need the Tetons. We need like the people around the Tetons to step up their fucking game.
Yeah. Then we need the Bible Belt to pick it up too.
We're doing all right in most of the Bible Belt, but it looks like
the middle
Kansas,
of it.
Kansas, Arkansas, Alabama, New Mexico. You guys have put on notice.
Tornado Alley.
We're putting you on notice, dude.
They're too busy running from tornadoes.
I guess so. Podcasts haven't gotten around.
Now we know what states we can talk shit about. But yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. So
it's kind of cool.
We're touching it. We've gotten all settled portions of
Australia.
Yeah, I can see where in other countries we have covered
the UK.
We have covered the UK.
Good, man. The lads.
And Germany. Germany is pretty good. We have a pretty good grip on the Germans.
Which part of that? Do you know where Stuttgart is? I'm trying to figure. I wonder if we've made it in the Porsche country yet.
So let's see. Munich. That's Berlin.
Yeah, we crushed Berlin.
We've got all of that.
Shout out to Berlin.
Bayern, Berlin, the Saxon region.
The Saxon region. I'm going to look at where Stuttgart is. This is
Niedersachsen. The Baden-Württemberg, written in Nordrhein-Westfalen.
Stuttgart.
But yeah, we got a pretty good, I think that's near.
Let me see.
I think that's in
Where's Stuttgart? Let me see. It's near Frankfurt.
Yeah, so that's
no, we made it. We've
got it. It's in the northern section.
Got it. Thank God. It's that part.
Nailed it. So we've got Porsches.
We got Porsches.
So Porsche hit us up.
Sup, man. But yeah, I'll be back, Porsche.
So I was while you were talking about, I was like, I need to see where we've been, where the podcast is hitting. It's pretty cool.
Touched a lot.
And we've had guests from the UK, so I'm not as. I've also been on a few UK podcasts. Mm-hmm. I'm actively trying to take over the UK market.
Could do that.
I guess
they could use it.
I'm glad that's paid off.
It has.
But we had Andy Gaines, and we had Adam Forster, which he's a cool dude.
He's a cool dude.
He's a nice part of the jiu-jitsu
community.
And like he's got his fingers throughout like
he's doing some shit.
Yeah, like he's in the mainstream sort, he's infiltrating the mainstream. A lot of like the guys who do like the move coverage, they keep finding his loop choke, dude.
I like that.
He hit that one trucker choke at Blue Belt, and it just keeps getting picked up. It's cool.
He's innovating.
It's cool to see. A cool creative person too, which is also something that we've noticed talking to a lot of these guests. There's a lot of nerds and a lot of people, a lot of creative people.
Definitely a lot of nerds.
Lots of nerds. And then a lot of artistic people, which is cool. And yeah, I mean there's been a lot of like those lots of nerds, lots of very creative people, artsy people.
Didn't John say this attracts like trait openness, like this world that we're in attracts people who are interested in that realm?
Yeah,
it's a creative realm.
Yeah, like there's a level of creativity that this, right, like garners that. It also, the search for knowledge, I think, was one of the other aspects he was talking about. Like, you kind of have to want to, you kind of have to want to learn. Like, if you're just a jock and you don't like being, you don't want to learn stuff, it's much more difficult to stay in, right? Like, people that can't handle failure or are unwilling to seek answers. So there's like the problem solving and all of that.
There's wisdom in this.
Yeah.
People listening.
Wise people. Listen to the actual quote. Go back an episode and listen to what John said. Us. But we're paraphrasing, and I don't know if I paraphrased it perfectly.
I think you paraphrased it pretty well.
I think it was good. But if you hear the expanded information, it's really cool. I think we'll have to do more stuff like that. We're going to find more intelligent people. Not that we haven't already found a bunch, but we need to find people with like, that's stuff that I don't know anything.
Yeah, I like that.
Tell me what's in my head. Selfishly.
It's an opportunity for us to bring on different smart people and talk to them about what they know. Yeah, it's awesome.
And especially even better if it applies to jiu-jitsu, right?
And weirdos. We will take weirdos.
Oh yeah. Calling all weirdos. Yeah. We'll take if you know people. Actually, we got some pretty cool recommendations for people, than the topics with which to include them in, that I excite me. So speaking of listener topics, let's see.
We had a few people who
I want to do. Well, that was kind of sorry guys, I wasn't going to do the actually specifically sorry BJ. I'm not gonna clip up all of the episodes, but I do appreciate that was our version of the
that was our shout out to BJ's clip show request.
Yeah. So we wanted to do a little reminiscing, but
we reminisced. I think we reminisced pretty well.
I would need a little more time and to clip everything up.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
It'd be so tough. There's too many good options. That's the problem. They would take up too many episodes.
I bet AI could do it. I don't know which AI to ask, but
we need to get an AI expert on.
I have an AI guy.
Yeah, we'll get an AI guy on here.
I got an AI guy.
I like it.
More to come.
Hell yeah, we'll have an AI person on. But
there's a way to do this. I just don't know what it is.
We've reminisced on the first year of the podcast, right? So let's reminisce on our first year of jiu-jitsu,
which was a request from one of our
this is a listener request. This for both of us was over a decade ago. Well over a decade ago. So reach back as far as you can, to your first year. And honestly, this is a pretty cool exercise, because we can even do like your first year and then like now, like what would first year Scott think of now, Scott? Let's talk about first year Scott, and then we can see what he thinks of where now Scott is.
I would like to think that he would be happy with or satisfied, maybe even impressed with where he is now. First year Scott didn't know a goddamn thing. It was that was 21 years ago. 21 years ago, yeah, 2005. And dude, for people listening, I started jiu-jitsu before Forrest Griffin and Stephan Bonner had their like breakout UFC. What was the name of that show? The Ultimate Fighter. Before the Ultimate Fighter, like big breakout.
The season that saved the UFC.
Right. And then so I said to say like, this was it was very much a subculture in the world of martial arts when I began training jiu-jitsu. And dude, I was just trying to show. Back then, first year Scott was just like, this stuff is awesome. I just want to do this. Competing, coaching, traveling, owning academies was like not even a thought in my mind. It was just show up, and I got injured my first year. Woo! I got injured.
Nice.
Yeah, I broke my arm.
Became a statistic.
I did. Yeah. I broke my arm the first year and I missed like about 8 weeks of training, 6 to 8 weeks. So honestly, not that bad, but
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
yeah, it wasn't a terrible injury or anything. It was broken. So, but I said that to say like, it was just very much a immersion into this. I mean, even then, like I didn't know, like training in a serious way was like not really, there wasn't a lot of organization, we'll put it that way, back in the world of jiu-jitsu, at least not where I was. Not to like call anyone out. I'm not saying that. It's more of just like the whole world of jiu-jitsu has evolved in a very noticeable way, in a big way. And so I was just kind of like learning the hard way. Again, that's what I'm saying. Like learning the hard way, just being on the mat. I just wanted to train, man. It was so fun. I just wanted to train. And I was doing a lot of gi back then. No gi wasn't really a thing. I did some no gi, but no gi was really more for fighters back then. And so in the academy that I was at, shout out to the Four Seasons in Lexington, Kentucky. Step up your game, Kentucky. Listen to the show. But there were guys there were actually a decent amount of professional fighters at the academy. And I would do some no-gi with those guys, which was cool. But gi was the thing back then. So I was wearing the gi all the time. And I just wanted mat time, dude. I wanted my blue belt. I remember that in my first year. I remember really wanting it. So I was training a lot and just trying to like soak up everything that I could, trying to pull off moves when and where I could. Like, again, another call out to like the difference in the worlds that people listening now who are a year in jiu-jitsu have versus what I had, which was you just went to class and there wasn't really any structure. Again, I'm making it sound worse than it was. It was like, to me, it was like I was just getting a ton of awesome content. But like, I think the good thing about the growth of this martial art from 2005 to 2026 is that there's so many academies now. There's so many really knowledgeable, good coaches out there that there's, at least where we are now. I mean, granted, now I'm in a completely different place, but even back I know in Lexington, Kentucky, there's a lot more martial arts options, a lot more jiu-jitsu options now than there were when I was there. But I think that degree of like, call it like business competition, like there's more places, more options for people to go to. I just feel like the quality of training, curriculum, systems, like if you want to have a competitive, and it isn't, I don't necessarily mean like the world of competition, but like a competitive business in martial arts, you just have to do a better job. And that's noticeable now insofar as like the product that people receive is a lot more refined.
Yeah, I was going to say the professionalism is different. I mean, heck, so I started doing this 15 years ago. So not long after, it was still a subculture thing. Like you couldn't have, there were very few just jujitsu gyms, right? Like
this was back in the tap out days when people were wearing tap out all the time.
People were in tap out and Affliction.
Affliction was the other one. Yeah.
All the jujitsu gear was so over the top.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, the style was rough.
Because like not only so MMA was still like a subculture. It was still pretty like, it was still like a small thing. It was just starting to like be bigger. Right? They just started, I think they were just kind of barely starting to show fights at bars. And
if I may jump in real fast, the reason why you and I both brought up MMA too, because MMA was really like and it kind of still is, although I think jiu-jitsu now kind of has its own cultural like inertia behind it, where it has like its own like brand recognition. But back then, the UFC was like what was like the big marketing thing for
it was the
showcase. That's how people found out about jiu-jitsu. So that was like to your point. That's funny. We both brought up like MMA.
Yeah.
Insofar as like the zeitgeist to that.
Well, I mean, that's what got me into it anyways, because I was fighting.
Yeah. True.
I was doing it to fight. So like, but yeah, I mean, that was what brought people, like that was the marketing for jiu-jitsu at the time. Like, even jiu-jitsu, because wrestling didn't start taking over MMA yet. Like jiu-jitsu was still like the dominant grappling art for MMA at the time in the 2010s, the early 2010s. So like up until probably like 2015, 2016.
Yeah, maybe.
Like that was when wrestling, and that's like when wrestling really started. I mean, there were a couple
made its
guys.
comeback because it went through like a tough time where like it, for whatever reason, I actually think social media played a big part in all of this too, where like that enabled like subculture of, I mean, of every form of subculture plus like some freak shit that like people all the weird shit you see on the internet is because of social media has like allowed people to form these little like bizarre little niches. But anyways, I digress. But because of social media, like wrestling, I think made a comeback too, because like all the wrestlers who have always been super passionate about their thing, like there was no like outlet other than the UFC, kind of like you said, to like rally behind, hey, this incredible sport is here, it's awesome, but it's never really had like a place where people can like go and get excited about it. But now you got Instagram.
Well, and there was no like, because wrestling is one of the few collegiate sports that has only one outlet initially, right? Like, because you couldn't make money going to do jiu-jitsu out of wrestling at the time. You couldn't really, it was really hard to break into the UFC at the time. Like you basically had to go through,
fight.
Yeah, I mean, you had to go do years. I mean, it was the development time was just so different. You didn't have guys that you didn't have Bo Nickel who would, get into the UFC within a year. Like that didn't happen at the time, right? Like there wasn't the discovery ability now that they have now too. So I mean, it's just media coverage and spread. But yeah, I mean, it's just like that might be the whole answer is just competition, and the ability for like to showcase the sport has caused the sport to get bigger. And which this isn't the point of what we were talking about.
Well, you were talking about just like how like the UFC, like MMA and the UFC was like creating exposure to jiu-jitsu and how that was relevant to your pathway into
like
jiu-jitsu from there.
You kind of saw at the time that like you had to learn jiu-jitsu, right? And that's what got me into jiu-jitsu was, I mean, this was 2011. And I was like, all right, like if I'm going to fight, I can't just know how to wrestle and that's it. I got to learn this jiu-jitsu thing and like do jiu-jitsu. So I started doing jiu-jitsu in 2011, and so that'll be fall of 2011, I guess. But so like that first year, right, just doing jiu-jitsu, I signed up for my first tournament after like 2 or 3 months. It was much harder. I'm going to preface this. It's much harder to sign up for tournaments back then because like there wasn't smooth comp. It wasn't like the internet still kind of sucked, like it wasn't super
It wasn't
refined.
as much information on like, where do you go to your first tournament? There's like not that many tournaments. And so you see a tournament and then what happened, Michael?
Yeah. So I think my coach just like sent me, he was just like, go here and just sign up. We're all going. So I just went and signed up, and I didn't know this, but I signed up for the advanced division because it just had like years of grappling experience. And so like it was, I don't know. But so I just like signed up for, I think there were only 2 skill divisions at the time. I might be misremembering, but I definitely signed up for the wrong one.
Advanced and not advanced.
Yeah. But so I just signed up for a division, and I don't know what the promotion was. All I know is I shot in for a double leg. Dude just was all of a sudden on my back, and I was getting choked out. And this was like, I was well outclassed.
Like, what?
And I was like, what in the hell just happened? I was like, what happened? But yeah, so like that was my first year of jiu-jitsu. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to just get good at this. I ended up getting my blue belt in less than a year, I think. But, cause I literally just no-lifed jiu-jitsu after that. I was like, I'm going to be good at this. God damn it.
That's how you do it. No life it.
Yeah. Cause I think, no, it was just over a year. Yeah, roughly. It was like I got like it within a year or something. I don't know. I'd have to look at dates and time. But yeah, I mean, so I got into it looking to get into fighting. I think I had my first fight after the first year. So I think it was like a year and a half or something that I had my first fight. But yeah, I mean, it was a very different world. Like you were saying, like jiu-jitsu, it was hard to find. There weren't as many schools. I was traveling an hour to get to a gym at the time. So like it was an hour each way. That was like the closest one. At least that I knew of. But so I was going an hour each way to train. we had a different coach like every few months. Eventually we were just, this wasn't within the first year, but eventually we were just the coaches at this gym. And like you said, like, even though there's a 6-year difference or 5-year difference in time, there was still like, it was still pretty Wild West. Like, you're learning the hard way because there weren't quite as many people, right? There weren't as many, like, now we have tons of black belts in the area, and there was still a decent number of them, but like, jiu-jitsu is still kind of like this little secret art, and everyone like kept to they didn't really cross train yet. They all kind of kept to their own schools, and there wasn't quite like, now there's a huge knowledge share. You know, there probably were. I mean, there were definitely like the Big Brother schools were there. Like, that was all a thing, but that was further away. It wasn't so like, but you know, there were these groups, but like, if you weren't in one of these groups, you were kind of like an isolated school, right? Like, you weren't getting, people weren't coming to your school and teaching.
We weren't really connected very well back then either. That's another shout out to like social media. There wasn't really like a great way for like people to keep in touch. I mean, this stuff is like around the time that like Facebook was just kind of popping off, man. And like, there weren't influencers yet. No, like, no one knew how to use social media. People weren't connected in the way it is now, where they can use DM and Academy. Like, I was just in Georgia like a week ago, dude, and I just shot them a message. I said, I'll be there, and they said, come. Like, yeah, it's way different now. It's like so easy to like link with random people and train. Yeah, you had like the barrier to entry for jiu-jitsu was you had to be willing to fill out the form on a website or call and hope someone answered. Like, that was the barrier to entry for every single gym. There was no, like you're saying, you couldn't just hit people up. It was much harder. And so you had to want it. And sometimes there wasn't even a good website. Like, sometimes the website just sucked. Some of the websites are still fucked up. Yeah. Websites are of varying degrees of quality. Yeah, I was telling someone about that on there. I was like, every single jiu-jitsu gym has like the exact same, like there's some guy who's developing every single one because they all look the same. They all do roughly the same thing. They're all broken at the same time. And I don't know, just not tech savvy people necessarily. Or, you know, I don't know. They're not getting into running a jiu-jitsu gym to run a website. So like, yeah, it becomes second nature. I don't know. Also, now more people want to do it. So you don't have to like be as, you just got to provide the product sometimes and it's fine. You know, if people want it, they want it. You know, whatever. But it was still very different back then. But some of it's still the same. But there were aspects of the sport at large that were like just different and almost like archaic if you look back at it. Like, oh, like we were just fighting, show up and just grapple. It's a lot sometimes different now, man. Like, yeah, it's there. I mean, I guess my way of describing it is there's just a lot more infrastructure behind it now. There's more. It's more precise. It's more targeted these days, which is it's better. Like the product is impressive now. Like there's so many good options. Just like even just being around DC, there's just, I mean, hundreds. There's maybe not 100, like probably over 100 different good options. Well, I swear there's there's like new academies just in the area popping up like frequently, like very frequently. Probably like every couple weeks, I hear, to a month, I hear about one opening somewhere. You used to have to go to like MMA schools to get a little bit of it too. Like now they're like jiu-jitsu schools. Yeah, now there's jiu-jitsu only. Yeah, you did have to used to in the 2010s still. Yeah, everything that opened was an MMA school. You did the striking and or it was like a karate school that also ran a class. They had like a couple, class, or like it had fighters, but it really was a karate school that then just had like this back room jiu-jitsu MMA thing going on. It still put out like good guys, but you had like these. It wasn't the draw at the time. I mean, heck, Nova MMA was mainly CrossFit. Like that was right. That was the money maker. Yeah. And then you had MMA stuff. You had all of that, but like you had to have just jiu-jitsu wasn't paying the bills for most schools at the time. Like it just wasn't a big enough program. And now it's schools with hundreds of people just doing jiu-jitsu.
So, I mean, it's pretty impressive where it's come from. That was a great
So yeah, if you're listening to this, it's your first year, man, you got it so good.
Dude, if this is your first, you're so blessed. You have so many ways, like so many more professional outlets for showcasing and testing out your jiu-jitsu. It's easier to get to, multiple different training partners and have like cross training, open mat, seminars, like
hundreds of good black belt coaches out there.
Content you can just watch shit for free and get like technique videos online and research your opponents easily. You have smooth comp for your local comp, like your regionals. You
guys got it good, man.
You can actually see what your record is.
We don't want to hear any complaining.
You had to remember your record back in the day, you had to like remember how your tournaments went. You couldn't go back and see what happened, or you couldn't even see the brackets. You didn't know who was signed up for shit back then. I mean, heck, even through like 2015, 2016, I remember like you just showed up and hoped there were people and they would just put you wherever there were. So
they always,
for like the smaller, this isn't like the other, IBJJF was still relatively professional. It was smaller, but it was still pretty professional at the time. So that was pretty much the only one. You had like a lot of, the regionals were very different at the time, the small local shows and everything.
We had one question about open mats.
Oh, yeah, we did. Speaking of open mats.
Yeah, speaking of connectivity.
I haven't heard of this movement that he is bringing up. However, he wants us to talk about this dumb as fuck anti-open mat movement. I have not heard of this.
We should have asked him to like submit a audio request.
Please
expand on your request.
Please expand. However, have you heard of people not being anti-open mat?
I don't know if I know of a stated anti-open mat policy, but there are places that don't do open mats, and that's probably what he's.
Do you think he's referring to like, oh hey, we have open mats on at this time, come out or like, do you think he's talking about like, oh anybody show up?
Well, he's talking about open mats, like where like open to visitors to show up and kind of get some cross training. That's what he's talking about, and he's I think calling out places where they. All right, then
I've heard of that. Then
okay,
I wasn't sure if he just meant like people were just against having a knot class. Like, oh, we're going to have like, if you're just like, oh, we're going to have open mat on, we have open mats on Saturdays. So like there's no class, you just everyone show up and roll, like.
Yeah, I mean, that's okay. So like,
it's a level of it, but I thought like just at the base level of like, we only have class. But
well, I think he's kind of doing that. I think that's what he's talking about.
It's a little bit of that, but also other people being allowed in. I see
a non-open mat.
Now I'm cool. He was talking.
Got it?
Yes, now I'm on board. And now I understand.
You understand?
Now I get it. Okay. Yeah, I have heard of this then.
Okay.
It is dumb as fuck. I agree. I mean, I understand to an extent, but I understand aspects of it because I do think there can be risks to your clientele involved in it, right? Like, but it's also really not that big of a risk. I understand that there's like, hey, white belt Johnny shows up to open mat and this dude who doesn't care about his well-being also shows up to open mat and just starts thrashing people. Like,
it could happen.
I understand that aspect of it. I don't think it's as big of a risk as some people might think. I don't think that's something that happens a lot. I think
it's a solvable problem.
Yeah, it is a solvable problem.
You put someone in charge of open mat to keep an eye on things and just make sure everyone's behaving themselves. Done.
I've seen people show up from and not really take care of their training partners that day from other but very few people show up with malicious intent. But I've seen people like show up and treat a roll at open mat like it's ADCC Worlds. And you're like, dude, settle the fuck down. But it usually does solve itself. But yeah, I mean, I'm just saying I understand that is usually one of the reasons people don't do it. I don't think that's necessarily I don't think it's a founded reason. Like, I don't think that's founded in fact. I know if the one that I have an issue with, though, is if your fear is that if people come from other schools, that they'll take your students. That, I think, is a bad reason to not have open mats. I understand if you're trying to keep, insurance, trying to protect your clients, whatever, like that's a business decision at that point. But you really shouldn't be worried about people coming into your school and taking your students. I don't think that's something that, if you're doing your job, is not happening, right? Also, I don't think people really do that. I don't know if people show up to open mats looking to pick up students.
I don't think that's the main way these guys are growing their businesses. I suppose that's the psychology. Like you said, it's like some people are like, hey, this business is for paying members and no open mat. I guess that's the psychology in some capacity, right? Like, basically, simply put. And so, okay, so I guess the pro of that is like, all right, well, like, you just focus on your members. All right, so more power to you. That's fine, I suppose. With an open mat, you can bring in visitors from wherever. People can come in from out of town. People can come in from across town and cross-train with your guys and makes your guys better. It puts you in a good light, too. Like, I think it's a good look for an academy when visitors want to come pop in and join your open mat. It says something about your training environment that, like, people see quality and they're like, yo, man, I'd like to pop in and do an open mat with you guys. So I tend to agree that, like, an open mat, one or whatever is a good look. I think it adds prestige to the place that's hosting it and the guys that are hosting it, saying like, yo, like, people want to come here and train. And like, yeah, we welcome some of what you said. Maybe we welcome some of those competitive ADCC world style rounds from time to time. I think it's a cool thing. That's probably what he's getting at. Is like, he wants to, go, hey, I'd like to pop into this academy, but they won't let me in unless I pay. Well, I mean, I'm a member at another gym, but I want to, like, come check out your spot. It's like, there's like a diplomacy aspect to it that I like. And so I get where he's coming from. I don't know that there's like some like broad movement. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm.
Yeah, I don't know how like
expansive.
I don't know how
deep does this conspiracy go?
I don't know how deep the I mean, I don't know. Maybe he had run into something. I don't know. But I mean, like, we don't have like, in terms of, we don't have like a day where people just show up and roll. At Battlefield, but that's just we have it on like holidays. We'll have right. The federal holiday open mats, and whatever, whoever shows up.
Gotcha.
Just got to sign a waiver. That's it. And like, but during classes, like during the week, if someone wants to drop in,
it's got like a visitor policy.
Yeah, like we don't charge people for a day. We don't do drop in fees. I don't know. We don't really have an issue with it. There might be certain specific individuals that a gym doesn't, but like
blacklisted.
Yeah, there might be blacklisted people at certain gyms and stuff. But that's a different
have a blacklist after a while. Like, you're gonna have some bad actors come through and you're like, he can't come back.
You might have some of that at gyms. Like, there's everybody has one. I'm sure. Like,
if you've been a gym long enough, you'll have some blacklisted people.
Yeah, there's someone who's shown up to your gym, or they might have been a member at one point. You're like, bro, you can't be here.
Definitely.
You kick them to the curb. So like, that's a thing that's going to happen one way or another. It's just every gym at some point in its lifetime has run into those people. It's just what it is.
Some bad apples.
But yeah, we don't not allow people to the gym. I don't know, from other schools. So I just have not experienced it. Now, yeah, I don't know. I've had like one gym not respond to a request to go to it before, and that's about it. They just didn't respond. Like, just literally no answer to my messages. So I don't know. I was like, all right, I guess I'm not coming.
Yeah, I mean, if you're listening and you're in a decision-making position at an academy, maybe you do an open mat. Maybe you let some people pop in.
It doesn't have
close
to
off your borders.
It doesn't have to be every day either. Like, that's understandable if you want like your classes to be for your students. But I think it's cool to have like a Saturday, I don't know, whatever day it is. Sometimes people are in town.
Whatever. Yeah. Sometimes weekend open mats are nice.
Yeah, you don't have to let them in Monday through Friday. That's fine. Whatever.
Yeah. It's a good look.
But it's good to be like, hey, like, even if someone does reach out and they're like, oh, I'm going to be in town these days. Like, yeah, we don't let people in those days, but if you show up this day, it's
you can
fine.
take a free trial.
Yeah. Or just do your free 1 week trial, whatever. You know, I don't know. I think it's a weird thing to not let people, especially visitors, dude, like from out of town. Like, why not? They'll show up for a day, they'll be gone the next day. Like, who cares? It's fine. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, there's always going to be some amount of politics between gyms. It's going to happen. It's a thing that occurs. But we don't have to expand that to people outside of those circles, right? I understand that there is that aspect of just businesses in general, you know. You said you have your gang and they have their gang.
People are funny.
Yeah.
I'll just say that. People are funny, man.
And then sometimes you have your cults, dude.
Yeah, we talked about that.
We talked about that on an episode. Sometimes that's a thing too. Maybe if your gym, maybe that's a cult marker, a potential cult marker.
Could be.
Like we said, most things are there's red flags, there's green flags, and sometimes there's yellow flags. That might be a yellow flag, for your cult behavior, right? Like, oh, we don't let outsiders in unless they pay me. I don't know. Sometimes that's just business. Sometimes if there's you mark that with a few of the other things.
Yeah, that's in the stew, right? You got to taste the stew and say, how many ingredients does this taste like a cult?
If they don't let other people in the gym, but also don't let you visit other gyms,
cult.
That's probably a cult. That might be one of the factors. Yeah. So that's. I don't know. Do you have anything else on that?
No,
I think we've covered that.
Some open mats, guys.
Oh, and Birthday Boy has a question for us.
Oh, yeah.
How do you like working with Nova Bar? This is a loaded question.
Who asked this? Don't say who asked the question. Read the question.
How do you like working with Nova Barbell Club? Would you recommend them?
You want to go?
Do you want me to start?
Yeah, go.
It's wonderful. I mean, I don't know. I recommend them. I think we're being forced into an ad spot. Yeah, I mean, I like working in the Barbell Club. I've gotten stronger significantly. My mat confidence is increased. And yeah, I do recommend working with them. Are there days that sometimes I'm like, man, fuck this guy. But then I get over it pretty quickly at the end of the workout. But sometimes I'm looking at the workout, I'm like, God, really? We're doing this today? And then I do the workout and I feel a million times better and it's fine. Yeah, I don't know. I've like adjusted a lot of, like me specifically, a lot of like strength deficiencies. I'm way stronger than the mat. Weight cuts have been easy. Like I'm actually in at the top of a weight division now. Like, like I said, I was 161 pounds in January and now I'm 149, like 150. But like
you'll be on weight.
I'll be good.
You'll be on
I have
weight.
a week.
You're on weight, dude.
But it's simplified the process. It's nice having a program, dude. Like, and now I'm going to turn this into an ad spot, I guess. But he has tons of different options for all the different, like, however much people want to invest in the sport. Like, it's good. I've done the subscription program. I've done the custom. I just needed the custom just because of travel, competing a lot. It's just better for me. It's just good not having to think about what you need to do in the gym. As a competitor, it's nice being able to like, all right, pull up my phone, open the app. All right, here's what I need to do today. So all I have to do is worry about what I'm going to do in training, right? Like that's the only thing I have to think about. Is like, all right, what am I focusing on in training this week? That's the only decision I have to make sometimes, right? Yeah. Like this is what I'm working on. And then sometimes that decision gets made for me by performance. Oh, well, actually I need to work on this now. And then I work on that. It removes a stress point for the day. I just have to do whatever the workout says. Yeah. And for me, that's a big deal. Like, it's great. And that's I endorse a Nova Barbell Club. How about you?
Yes, definitely.
Do you like it?
I've endorsed it many times and I'll continue to endorse it. Yes, I think you said it well, man. Yeah, having the program, it's curated around your goals. our coaches team does a ton to understand all the nuances and subtleties of where you're at, balanced with a lot of conversations built around what your goals are. And
even outside of lifting and jiu-jitsu goals too, like he accounts for other aspects of life too, which is cool.
Yeah, he's in there. He knows what you're working on. And so as you said, there's like, knowing that there's the confidence of your coach being very aware of what you're trying to do. And because of that, like you said, the kind of brass tacks, like you pay him. He does all of this work to really understand what's going on. And then you open the app, man, and it's like, just like you said, this is just what I got to do. It saves you a lot of time because he's thought through it all. Like he really thinks it through and really thinks how he wants you to achieve your goals. And so you just, yeah, it's simple. It's nice. Like you pull out the app, you're like, bang, this is it. This is what I'm doing. And then he does a bunch of stuff above and beyond the call of what he's being paid to do to help you with these things. Like I'd say it exceeds the value, which is another nice thing for our ad read for him here. But that's obviously super helpful because again, it just gives you more confidence when you open the app. Like, all right, like what I'm doing today and all week is we've done the strategizing and the tactical piece by piece way to accomplish my goals. Bang, just do the workout.
Well, in disclosure on this, he does not pay us. So like you being willing to, the product is so good that we actually just want to, we don't make money off telling you guys that we like this. We just think that we just believe in it. Like, right. It's just a thing that's like, all right, I recommend to all of my guys at the gym, like if they ask me what I do, I say, well, this is what I do. He has something for you too, if you want to do it. And he will put in whatever effort you're willing to put into it. He's going to put the effort in for you too, which is cool. Like just the other day, I mean, he will promote you guys on, he promotes everything that his clients do. Like he's actually just a good guy too, which is cool. I don't know as many of the other coaches, but they are awesome. I know Tyler just because of the times that I'm there, but the ones that I have met, they're all awesome people and seem like they're great coaches, and all of them are doing whatever they're preaching to, which is cool. You don't always run into that with coaches and trainers and all of that, right? Like, so it's cool seeing these guys out there doing the things that they're preaching, and they're doing the training. They all train with each other. They're all each other's coaches. So they're all on programs that they're also writing for people, which is really cool. You don't always get that. Sometimes you see a personal trainer and they just kind of do whatever they want, but then, give the stuff to the other people. So,
that's nothing.
It doesn't affect this.
All right.
Pop-ups, dude. But it's,
we recommend it.
We recommend it.
You should do it.
Even Big John does it.
He does it.
Have you seen how big he is? He's a giant man.
He's big and he's strong.
He's big and strong.
And he's a world champion.
And smart. And a world champion. It's unfair, dude. It's just not fair.
Get this guy out. It's Captain America, man.
All right. So that was that one, which actually another cool point on that. That is another relationship that was developed through the podcast because he was one of our first
guests. Yeah.
He was one of our first guests that we ever had on the show. He also started a podcast after being on our show, like that night. He went and bought everything, and then they recorded a couple of days later. Him and Nate started up their show, the Strong AF Club. I heard he might be bringing something back, though.
I think there might be some rumors.
There's rumors brewing that there's gonna be
more to come.
There just might be a comeback from the Strong AF Club. It's cool seeing all these listener questions too, guys.
Yeah.
I appreciate that you guys are interested in topics. So, do we have anything else on this 1 year?
Man, no. I look forward to the 2 year.
There's almost too much. Yeah. I'm excited for this year. We will, I know we talk about it all the time. We have some cool stuff coming up. But I don't want to speak too soon, and then you guys are just excited for too long. But we will be working on the Patreon is probably the next thing. That's just a matter of, we want to make sure that we actually are providing value with it. We don't want to just, even if you guys do just want to give us money, as we said at the top of the show, I'll take your money.
Yeah.
But we do want to make sure you guys are getting something out of it. Just makes us feel better about providing a, paywall item. But that is something we're working on. I have created the account. I just haven't made any things on it. So we will make an announcement when that comes out too. So that'll probably be like the beginning of a show. Just be like, hey guys, heads up, there's a Patreon now that you can sign up for. So when we do that, it would help us out. It'll help us. We have been personally investing in the show to bring you guys the best quality that we can. And, all of it will go back into the show. We're not just going to take money. So stuff like if you guys are, honestly, you can even leave it up to whoever the Patreon subscribers, what you're looking for. And, you're just hearing me plan things out now, but, things that you're interested in and stuff that it will help guide us where to put that towards too. So all that, any fundraising efforts go back into the show. They always have. So even back in the day, so that's all cool stuff, guys. Yeah, it's been a great year. We appreciate you guys listening and your questions as always. You guys have been doing it for almost the whole year now. We've been getting some listener questions and join that Discord. Rate and review 5 stars, especially if you're new and you haven't done it yet. Definitely hop on there, drop a 5-star review, share it with your friends, interact with us. We like hearing from you guys. We think that it's cool. We like to see what our listeners are interested in, and it makes us better at this. We're just trying to get better at stuff. So this makes us better at the podcast. We can provide you guys what you want. So rate, review, 5 stars, Discord,
direct deposit.
Yeah, just put checks in the mail. I don't even just put them in the mail.
We'll get them.
We'll figure it out. But yeah, guys, thank you for listening. This has been Fire Drinking Coffee. 1 year. 1 year to the exact day.
That's pretty crazy.
It's been exactly 1 whole year. Our first episode dropped March 10th, 2025. And you are listening to this March 10th, 2026. This has been Fire Drinking Coffee, guys. Love you. Bye.